Talk 1600. You're catching the drift. Conservative talk, intelligent conversations on local, state, and national issues with Gary Wellings, chief editor of the Current newspaper and Current Online. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. And now, your host, Gary Wellings.
And welcome to the Drift Radio Show. Good to have you aboard with us on this wonderful Saturday. A little rainy this morning.
A little, like thunder boomers.
Yeah. Well, in studio with me, Ipsy Ed Bonderenka.
Hi, how you doing?
The irredeemable.
I am redeemed.
Redeemed
I am
and
redeemed.
deplorable. Yes,
okay, I'm deplorable, but I am redeemed.
Okay, well, welcome to the the Drift Radio Show. And what we do on the Drift every Saturday is go over the news that I put on thedailydrift.com, www.thedailydrift.com. It's the news
You need to know.
Thank you very much. So get that information that I put on there for you. You won't find it on the mainstream media. You won't find it on Fox and all the other ones.
Because it's not fake news.
It's not fake news. Well,
hey, everybody, put your hands over your ears. There you go.
How do you manage to not have that in front of you when we start the show?
I don't know.
Just amazing. Well, let's take care of a little business before we dive into the dregs of this show. Diggett Services, LLC, complete mini excavator and skid steer services. Mike Kuzma is the owner of this great little excavating company. He's a super nice guy. 248-789-7619. I got to get hold of him to do some work for me in my driveway pretty quickly here. 248-789-7619. He's got brand new equipment, great equipment. It's a good way to get those things done around the house when you got to move. Don't get the wheelbarrow and shovel out. Just call Mike, and he'll do it to you and get it over with.
You know what else he has?
What's he got?
Integrity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Much like Judge Kavanaugh.
Yes.
So we
nice segue.
Let's just jump into this because we got a lot to cover in the 20-odd minutes we have here before Congressman Walberg comes on, and we can get some fresh views on what his take is with Kavanaugh and everything else going on in Washington. But yesterday, cloture voted, and they managed to get it through. The lone Republican who opted out of supporting him was that moron, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, who is no Republican.
Well, remember how she got in. There was a Tea Party guy running, and he got the primary, so she ran as an independent. With Democrat help. And I'm thinking that picture, and I'm thinking that picture of Feinstein glaring at her and threatening her in the hallway where she's cringing away from Feinstein, who's shorter than her.
Yeah.
You know, is where, hey, remember, you owe us, or we're going to break your legs.
Yeah, and if you watched her this morning speaking, wasn't it this morning? Or was it last night? I can't remember now. I saw it this morning.
Depends if you're watching a tape or not.
And the look on her face was one of abject guilt. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This woman was hiding something, trying to explain just what it looked like me as a kid talking to my dad about why I was late one night, and it was because I had my first beer and I was feeling guilty and lousy because I had my first beer, and I'm thinking, that was me!
You drank beer in high school?
I did.
Oh, man, you are not fit to be on this radio show. Out of here.
Exactly, right? Well, let's take a call from Leslie in Grand Rapids, wants to talk about Brett Kavanaugh. Leslie, welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy Saturday. I'm well. How are you?
Very good, very good. So you've got some opinions on Brett Kavanaugh?
I do. I am a woman, and I support him 100%. Absolutely. I think he's completely credible, and I think the Democrats are not.
Yeah. What were your thoughts? Because, the Me Too movement, the Him Too. I understand all women should be heard. And if a woman has the charges, let her make her charge and come forward. And I understand maybe it's not easy and it's difficult and it's horrific, whatever. But 35 years later?
Yes.
And for me, I don't know if you listened to the show last week, Leslie, or not, but for me last week, I talked about the fact, because I watched the whole thing. I watched all of her testimony. I watched all of his testimony. And from the very moment when she opened her mouth and began speaking with that phony little girl voice, right? The vocal fry, and then the up talk on the end of it. Hello, this is how I talk. That sort of phony as the day is long. And we even played a clip of that actress Rachel, who showed how it's done. But I'm not buying any of it. So, were the Republicans mean to her in any way?
No, I don't think so. I think what really gets me about the whole thing is that, well, especially on the Democrat end of it, yes, everybody deserves to be heard, and that's fine, but you're innocent until proven guilty. There's no proof. You have to come with proof. Again, I agree with what you said. Why did you wait so long? And it's so reminiscent of what they did to Roy Moore. And I feel like, so every time a Republican is up for something, are they just going to bring out 3 or 4 women who said they were raped and their story doesn't hold up? And then what? What are they going to do if a woman is going to be brought up for something, some sort of election for something?
Oh,
what are
you
going to
mean
do when
like
it's a woman? I just think that's interesting.
You mean like Amy Coney?
Yes, because she will be the next.
What's going to be the story then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's popcorn.
Yeah, she will. If it doesn't happen in the first term, it will happen in the second term. She will be brought out, and she will be the nominee. What are you Democrats going to do to a woman?
Exactly.
How are you going to make a woman look bad?
Oh, they're researching her already.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. They'll come. I mean, they can. You said it. Spin a story out of thin air, and they'll find anything. I'm sure. But what are you going to do when you don't have the rape allegations? Then what's it going to be?
You're going to call for another FBI investigation, and then the FBI is going to notice that, hey, people have been twisted or what's the word? Coerced or leaned on to change their testimony. I think we're going to look into you now.
Yeah.
You know, like her FBI friend who...
Monica McLean.
Yes.
Right? So that didn't even come out really until after the vote yesterday. Right. And I think Rush was, I don't know if he broke it or not, but he kind of brought it out in a big way. And he...
well, that's the one where the boyfriend said that Ford was coaching her on the polygraph, but she had no experience with polygraph. So we've got 2 investigations that need to happen right there. Ford perjured herself, if the boyfriend is correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And then McLean supposedly leaning on her friend Leland.
Yeah.
Okay, to change her testimony. That woman's got to go to jail.
Yeah.
There's so much that needs to happen with regard to the Democrats. So many like shady, horrible things that I just don't understand how we're not, and hopefully we will see some indictments or something. I don't know.
We had an attorney general
that's on Twitter of Sheila Jackson Lee giving Ford's attorney that envelope.
Yes. Now that one I thought got debunked. I'm pretty sure Tucker debunked that, didn't he?
Yeah. Supposedly they were.
Well, it did look incriminating. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it sure did, but I don't think they'd be that. Well, they're stupid, but they were supposed to be letters of support.
I don't know. They're stupid.
Yeah. Well, what else you got, Leslie? Anything?
You know what? I don't know. I'm looking forward to great things. Red October. That's all I can say.
Yes. Yes. Well, let's hope with the Kavanaugh out of the way, hopefully today in a positive manner, that maybe these thousands of sealed indictments we will see that we've been hearing about across the country will be unleashed. That's what I'm hoping for. So.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
That's what
fingers
I'm hoping
crossed.
For.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, Leslie. I appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. You guys have a great one.
See
you too. Bye-bye. Let's take a call from Ken in Livonia wants to talk about Brett. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, one thing I have to point out, because of 2 very important issues that I keep hearing brought up on what I would describe as reliable conservative talk. One is that Kavanaugh is opposed to reversing the ruling on same-sex marriage, that Kavanaugh is opposed to reversing Roe versus Wade. I don't want him in the Supreme Court. And so, from my point of view, I want him to fail, and I want Trump to bring up a real conservative that if the opportunity did arise to get rid of same-sex marriage, to get rid of Roe versus Wade, he would do it.
So what he said was he thought stare decisis, this whole thing of precedence, which has been that's what kept the Dred Scott case in effect for so long, was precedence. But eventually it has to be reversed, and it's not going to be just if a case comes before the Supreme Court. It won't be because the judges asked for it. It will be because the states asked for it. They'll bring up something. It'll come before the Supreme Court. And I'm pretty sure Kavanaugh will look at that and he'll say, the fact that there is no right to privacy in the Constitution is as given in that decision. that he's going to go along with reversing or removing parts of it.
Well, and let's clear this up, because I had an argument with a guy the other day. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, it does not make abortion illegal. It simply sends it back to the states, and the states will make that decision on a state-by-state basis. If California wants to keep abortion legal, they will keep it legal. If Iowa wants to, or Michigan wants to make it illegal, then they will make it illegal. So it doesn't make abortion illegal across the country. It only sends it back to the states and allows the states to now make that decision. Because if you're a true constitutionalist, the Constitution says nothing about you having a right for an abortion, period.
That's right.
That is not in there. It simply puts it back to the states and says it's not a constitutional issue, period.
Well, speaking as a Christian, as you know, I don't believe, on my own personal view, that the states should have the right, the nation should have the right to murder babies. And so if I get a whiff of anybody that's willing to tolerate abortion, and I would also put that towards the issue of same-sex marriage, anybody that's willing to tolerate it, he's out as far as my vote.
Yeah. Well, and you're entitled to that opinion. There are a lot of people, Ken, that are like you on that. So great call, great points. Appreciate the call. Take care.
I think some of that, Ken, I think some of that was basically trying to smooth things over to get through, talking about the precedence issue and how giving honor to precedence so it doesn't look like, hey, I'm going to step right in and demand we overturn Roe v. Wade.
Right.
We know the guy's pro-life.
I don't think you're going to see anything like that come up in the short term anyways. The Democrats want to complain about that being overturned. You might want to wait for what's her name?
Amy Coney Barrett.
Right? Because she will probably be the next nominee, and the Democrats will their heads will explode. Number one, they will explode and do everything they can to stop her from being on there, because she is, like Ken, a complete pro-life person, right? Mm-hmm. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think she's made it very clear that she is one of those people who wants to see Roe v. Wade be overturned. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doesn't mean it'll happen.
And you can do that on purely judicial grounds without even thinking in terms of abortion. It could have been the right to chew bubble gum. Right. Okay, it's just, is that right in the Constitution?
Yes, exactly. Let's take a call from Gary in Hazel Park. Gary, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. I'd like to point out the fact that there's been several cases of spinous erectus in the Republican Party. These guys grew a pair. It was awesome.
You know what? Susan Collins, again yesterday, I put the little plug in my ear and was listening to it at work. I was as proud of Susan Collins yesterday as I was as proud of Lindsey Graham the last week now, since he made his statement at Kavanaugh's hearing and then was on the news and said, if I support Trump and you don't like it, I don't give a blank. Mm-hmm. I was like, who is this Lindsey Graham and what have you done with the loser that we had here before? Thank you for bringing in the new pod, Lindsey Graham.
It's almost like the specter of John McCain. Because he must have kept all those people in the he has his own testicle lockbox, as Rush says, for his own party, because once he went away, then everybody's coming out of the closet, as it were. And most people didn't see it, but during the day, in the middle of the week, the Republicans had a press briefing, and they were on fire. They were literally yelling at the freaking press, and that's probably why you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Because they were just tearing them a new one. And secondly, today is the debut of the new Doctor Who, guys.
Oh, really?
Guy or girl?
It's a girl.
It's a lady this time, yeah.
Yes, it is.
That would be an interesting take. I can see that. I'm old school.
Yourself. You can lust after her now.
Yeah, I'm old school. I like the original Doctor Who, the movies with the Daleks, which are kind of cheesy old sci-fi movies, long before it became a TV series. That was what I liked. But great call, Gary. Anything else?
It's on in about 15 minutes, but you're going to miss it.
I'm going to miss it. Yes, exactly. Well, we got DVD on demand at home, so we're good to go.
All right.
Take care, Gary.
Guys, take it easy.
Bye. All right, so I want to tell people, because this is the insanity of the left, and I want to kind of show this. Derek, we got a few tracks ready here. The first track is the screaming memes at Capitol Hill. And I just look at these people, I'm like, you are as immature and out of control as toddlers. It's just amazing.